What is up? Well, that's the first time I saw that new opener. Hello, welcome to the show. It's the Hi There show. It's Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday night. We're doing it on a Wednesday this week. You can
It
do
is
that when you're doing it
Wednesday.
for free, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, welcome to the show.
yeah.
This is Live UX Tuesdays, anyway, where we come together and make some things, talk UX, shoot the breeze, but I was trying
Shoot
to
the
make it like
breeze.
techie. Shoot the
Yeah, I'm
I
just
don't know.
trying to think of one too.
Flow some
Flow some
charts.
charts. Map,
Map out our
map out our
sentiments
minds.
every week, once a week.
Yeah, give our sentiment a little bit of analysis.
Yeah. So hello YouTube.
Cry on each other's
My name
shoulder.
is Nick Brunt. I am here joined as always with Ian Conrad. Ian, what is up? Hi,
Hi,
friends.
hi, friends. Design.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We're back for our third week here. We've been working on this Twitter clone. We asked an AI how to fix Twitter, and it gave us some answers. And so we're kind of working on new Twitter here.
Yep, we're gonna destroy Twitter by making a better version of it, and trying to convince people to use what we are making instead, because well, Twitter's kind of getting to
Yeah,
be a bad place to go, I think. Case in point, I went there today, and it was just I got caught up in like a
oh,
conversation I didn't want to, and it was just a lot of people
yeah.
just
It's
fighting, and I
usually
didn't
pretty
like it.
bad
You know
vibes. You
what I
go
mean?
on there. You got to
It's
avoid
dumb
saying
stuff.
things or interacting, and
Bad
so
vibes.
it is kind of bad vibes lately. I mean, I still check Twitter daily. I mean, I definitely do. I interact a lot less than I used to because it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, so I guess, yeah, there is a
It
psychic
is. There's a
cost.
psychic cost.
You could make it like a
It might be a free
microcurrency.
platform, but there's a psychic cost. The value just is the psychic cost is increasing, but the value is diminishing. So
Yeah,
what if Twitter
that's
just
where we
didn't have
got
any
to a couple weeks
tweets?
ago. What if Twitter just didn't have any
Sit
tweets at all?
there.
Um,
Shouldn't
Maybe nobody should be reading
Yeah,
them at
maybe
all.
nobody should be reading these.
Yeah, sending
Hey,
stuff is
send
definitely more
stuff if you
preferable
like.
to reading it or having other people read it. Maybe um,
Yeah, get it out there. Get it
unqualified
off your
people.
chest.
You got to get it off your chest.
That's what
Um,
it's all about.
that's what it's
But
all
just not
about.
into anybody else's eyeballs
So
or
what do
mind,
we come up
except
with?
maybe one.
What are we
And
actually working
so
on? We like to talk about a lot of stuff here at this show, but we're going to be working on this. What do we got? Give me your thoughts on this product, Ian. Give me the pitch.
what do we got? Well, it's Twitter. It's Twitter without the tweets, and by that we mean you can't read tweets, but you can send the tweet or whatever it
Exactly.
is that you're sending. It's like I said, we're getting something off our chest, and we're kind of going along with this hypothesis that that is an important thing, and our AI kind of helped us, realize that maybe some things that people are getting out of Twitter and some things that can help people are making sure people feel heard,
Mm-hmm.
by using positive reinforcement, um, yeah, and praise, and we're kind of revolving around this like idea of managing stress and kind of tension, and using Twitter for that, as we so often see. So that's the idea here, where we kind of landed and started designing, was a way to kind of send a thing into not the ether or a public stream, but into a onto the desk of a professional, um, a professional worrier, for lack of better
Right.
terms, that can, um, take a look at your problem and kind of take the stress off your hands, and let you know that they are going to now take on the burden of worry for you, and maybe send a little back a little bit of a quick affirmation, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're good to go. You're on your
Mm-hmm.
way. It's over. You've now released it. You've passed it on. Whatever you were thinking about, whatever was bothering you, it's in the past now. It's in the hands of a professional, and it's time to get on with it.
So
But this
that
isn't
was
therapy. It's not going to
no.
be, a conversation back and forth. There are things for that, and that's an interesting idea. But it's yeah.
Yeah, it's we really want to hone in for users again to create that good experience. We want to hone in on the part that you like about Twitter, right? Which for me is the saying the things, not the reading or the handling it later. So for me, having a paid professional like a scientist, a researcher, read my tweet and craft a response. That's pretty comforting. I like that. It appeals to
It's
me.
compelling. I'm
Oh no, you've got it selected. Sorry.
No, I was saying I'm liking exploring that idea. And so we're just trying to think of like kind of doing the back and forth of what would an interface like that look like, and does that make sense?
Yeah, so obviously you don't want to dive right into an interface, but for the purposes of the show, we're diving right into an interface because why not?
We're kind of concepting here, but we're having a little fun with it. Maybe making it a little bit nicer than your typical wireframe. But we kind of explored like a conversational thing too. I think that's kind of important. And that's an actually, I don't want to sidebar us already, but the fidelity of like wireframes or concepts, like, you mentioned like it's kind of like maybe nicer looking than you'd normally do, but it's like this didn't take us that long to get there. And I'm kind of even realizing, as someone who's not the super skilled in like making UIs super clean and nice guy, that even I'm getting a little bit better at I'm getting better at making stuff look nice, and I can make wireframes like look a little nicer than wires easily. So it's like, why wouldn't I? Like, if I can drag in some real pictures and components, like, I was like, why wouldn't I do that?
I think, part of that conversation is like, what is wireframes? Is it UX or UI? It's part of UX. It has more to do with UI, I think, like which end of the project you're working on. But like you say, like, especially in this case, like we've got text on a screen, we've got buttons, like we're not doing anything that can't be made. You know what I mean? We're not making any big decisions. So like, I think it's okay to explore in that space, especially where we're making this hypothetical company called New Twitter.
I like that. I think that it's helpful. I used to kind of be like, no, we shouldn't get into that yet, because we got to stay focused on, figuring out how it works, because you do, obviously.
Yes.
But it just, I don't know. I'm kind of changing my tune on that. I think if it's closer, if it's closer to the real thing, like a real design, then that's a bit better, because it helps you think about it that much more. Because wireframes can be like interpreted differently, I guess. Even like you could have a wireframe that's just like literally like a few boxes, almost like a napkin drawing, maybe you would call that. I don't know, but
and I think there's stages of that. For me, ideally, I want to start at those napkin drawings at the beginning of a project and then hone them in, right? And make all your content decisions and get a good understanding of everything that needs to be there, especially if it's something complicated. Yeah, I usually start low and build them up. But we were talking about it earlier. I had a situation here in the recent past where you kind of build wireframes up to the point that they're so detailed that it's really, you're going to kind of style this page, and that's not what you want to do when you're moving into UI. Like, wireframes are like a loose guide and everybody needs to be on board with them, but you don't want to be like stuck with it once you're like sitting down doing like the creative part, or a UI artist is sitting down to do the creative part. I just called UI designers artists, but you get my drift.
Yep. That's fair.
It's a tough balance. I made these buttons. I prioritized these in a wrong.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Looking at.
Yeah, I think all that to say back to the. Yeah, where it's okay where we are at with the fidelity.
Yeah,
It is helpful. It is helpful.
You kind of feel a little defensive
I think
it's right, because it's like that's not UX, and it's like.
I mean, I could argue anything is or isn't UX. I think at this point, what was I going to say? I think with the simplicity of the UI of this app or product or service, whatever you call it, like there's not a lot to do in it. I feel like it's almost necessary to like figure out how it feels a little bit, like the tone. I think that
Mm-hmm.
is an important part of the UX, like the tone of this. So like
Well,
yeah, there's yeah, I kind of it's hard to do. It's not like a checkout that I did the other day where it's like, okay, that's literally some boxes and form fields at this point. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
A little bit different where that was like a bunch of gray boxes.
Yeah, I guess we're also working on a God onboarding screen.
Ooh.
Yeah, we started with this. It was like an open-ended Twitter thing of like, let's just it's gonna be Twitter, but you only write tweets, and now we've got this sort of like creepy, like corpo vibe going on, and I'm kind of going with it. I want to animate these backgrounds. Yo, I got a trick I want to
Okay.
try
In Figma,
in Figma. I mean,
like a transition.
I could peck at that as we continue to talk about the experience.
Okay.
But it's something I want to try because I saw it was like, have you ever seen this dude? He does like quick Figma tips. He's like, how to make a prototype in 8 seconds, and he's like, click, 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 you're done. And then you go and sit down and try and do it. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's like Figma done quick or something.
Figma. Not really. That's dumb.
What did you say?
I said Quickma.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice one.
Login.
Quickma. We should make a plugin
Yeah,
for
and
Quickma.
yeah, we kind of. I remember
Uses
talking
AI
last
to
time
just
too.
design your thing.
What's that?
No, we should make
Wait.
Quickma, and it just uses AI, and it makes a wireframe for any website. It doesn't matter. It's like a restaurant. And it's
What would
just
you do?
bup,
Like,
bup, bup, bup.
you just paste in content, like copy paste, like whatever in, and it just makes it. If
You
it can
would,
detect words like headings or something, could make you a page about the About Us section.
yeah, and you sort of give it like the tone, and your needs. Like it sort of maybe it understands it based on your menu size or your hours, and it's sort of the AI goes out and looks for restaurants that are similar and just copies their patterns and gets the information you need in there, and then you edit it later. It's like Squarespace, but you're just like, here's my business name, and they're like, cool, here's your website. Hey, can I show you a cool copy and paste trick?
I'd love to see a cool copy and paste trick. I love copying and pasting.
For how long I've been using Figma, I only learned this recently, but
I remember.
so this box has a
Well,
linear fill in it. No, I'm not going to let you do
okay.
it. I'm arresting it. This is my segment, Ian. So this has a linear fill in the background. So if we option Command C, so like, or otherwise, copy properties. Maybe I can do
Okay.
it on the. Oh
Edit.
no, I can do it to show it on the stream. Oh no, I can only copy it as several. Oh no, copy properties. So it's there. So yeah, it's option Command C, and I want that background in other containers. I can select both of these containers, then
And paste?
and then just paste
No.
it in, and they'll snap too. Or even
Ooh.
this button, like I can take this button style, and then just apply
Oh.
it to these, which should be components, and we'll get there for sure.
That's interesting, though.
And it'll even.
I'm sure that I'll find a way to use that at some point.
It's handy when you're working on like components or just many things at once, because the goal with Figma, and I know all of our huge audience that is super into Figma, I know you Figma knots out there are going nuts for this tip, is you want to keep your file as organized as humanly possible, and you're trying to make your components like as organized as possible. But eventually, somewhere down the line, when you have to like add a feature or do something complicated in a prototype, you're gonna have a component with like 10 panels in it that you have to manage, and that trick does that one. That wasn't too specific, Ian. You totally get that one.
I get it. No sweat. I like that paste properties, though. That's brand new. I remember the first time that my friend showed me like Control C, Control V, because we knew about copy paste, and then
Yeah.
when it's like you can just do with the keyboard, it's like galaxy brain.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like a, and becoming like a cyborg.
Yep.
It increased my powers that much.
I took a keyboarding class in like grade 10. Like like a learn to type on a computer keyboard. And
Wow, that's pretty advanced.
it was kind of cool. Well, yeah, I guess. The internet existed at this point in time. But anyway, it was in like a DOS version of Corel or something. And I knew how to copy and paste, and the course involved typing the same thing over and over and over. Like you would have a block of text in like 10 minutes to see how many times you could type it. So I would just paste it like the class average so I didn't get caught, and then just like hang out and do whatever. And I never got caught. That's a good
Nice.
story.
That's how you.
That's how you
That's
excel
how
in
you
tech.
win.
That's how you win in tech. Copy and
You
paste,
just
baby.
don't
It's
get
all copy and paste, baby.
Everything's copy and paste.
Everything's basic. Most of web design and a lot of product design is just copy and paste. You heard it here first. I'm sorry, I'm prettying this up. We should be talking about what this app actually.
No, I was just about to say we're kind of going through what I think is kind of the core of it, or a core.
Yeah.
Sending out your thing, like we kind of talked about last time, like, oh, what's the sign up and whatnot, and I think we'll get to that. It's not to say that it's not important. It's just, we can figure that out later. And we're making the way to send it, and I was just kind of thinking of the other kinds of flows and views that we would need, because we're going to need one, what eventually we'll need like the experts view, what they see to like view their tweets. That'll be kind of enterprisey. I'm interested in that, but less excited about it. And then we'll need like what the screen looks like from the end user's point of view when they get a thing back. And I started making this list below last time too. We want like replies, and then like history to be able to go look at. We're kind of bouncing all around with the requirements, but I think that's not a terrible way to do it. I used to be more like, we got to be more linear about things and take it one step at a time. But now it's like you kind of just get into something, and then
We'll play with it.
play with it.
We're also not on a budget. It's not like, hey, you promised you would have this figured out in 3 weeks. It's been
We're not
3
on a
weeks.
budget or a timeline. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's key.
It's fun to play. I think that's kind of the
Yeah.
spirit of the show too. I mean, a lot of times it can be hard to talk about design. Like there's a barrier there, and there's sort of this unspoken competition to be like who's the most cutting edge and who's the most right. And it's important to be up on stuff, but like, I don't know, we just wanted to like hang out and do this. I'm zoomed in on your feature list. Yeah, and like obviously it wouldn't work like this. Like I don't think you sign up and then just instantly send a thing. There's gonna be more interface here. We need some icons, maybe like a tray to navigate down at the bottom here.
But back to the sign up, like I am just in my head, I was thinking of like Twitter. I remember Twitter does have a pretty good sign up. I think it uses like, you can sign up with a phone number and it texts you a thing. Like,
Yeah.
when
You
we
can
do get
log
there,
in-
it's like
you can
something
log in with that
something
stuff,
cool
too.
and easy. That's just like, if you're on your phone, it's like, it doesn't take you off of your phone.
You take a picture of your
And
face and your
text
address,
message.
and it just knows who you are.
There you go. Take a picture of your driver's license, and then your face. I made an app like that. It was for a bank, but it was illegal to actually use.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, if you were
You can't
dynamically
do
using your
stuff like
face
that.
somehow and then not storing it in the long term, I think that would be fine. But if you're just
I don't
storing
thi-
people's faces for like the hell of it, that's kind of.
And I don't think it was good enough to create a bank account with a selfie. But there you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was making these lists. View. Calling them tweets right now, I guess, but they're not tweets.
Wait a second though. Could we
As
call them
Twi-
tweets? That's gotta
Twitter
be
will.
not okay.
I don't think I don't think we'd legally be allowed to. Better tweets.
New
You know,
tweets?
treats,
Oh,
tweet.
treats.
Oh, that's dumb. I'm gonna make the background color of this different. I'm gonna make this one. Oh, I just clicked a weird purple. So this will be back end. You could do you could do all kinds of stuff for this. Like you could do the flow charts with like two lanes where it's got the different users. Eventually we'll do that. A screen flow of it, those always look impressive. Where it's like it goes through here and then it goes over to here, goes into the cloud, gets assigned. That will be that. I guess that's what you put in like the Silicon Valley pitch deck. It's like it goes into a magical something cloud and it gets assigned to our professional
Yeah, like a
or
person.
whatever. How's that all work? We don't actually have to think of that.
Yeah, I guess that's not
I mean,
user experience. That's more like company
that's back end.
workflow. That's the
I
backest of
mean,
ends.
we know that it's possible. We don't need to validate that.
No,
Like
it's
we know
totally
you can send a
possible. I
thing and
mean,
then people can read. It's basically like sending an email to a support desk and someone picks up the ticket or something.
it's totally easy. I mean, Twitter, every time you write a tweet, it just puts it in a big text file.
An Excel sheet, a spreadsheet.
Yeah, a huge, unending
And
spreadsheet.
if you get like 3 strikes, you have to open that Excel sheet on your computer. And it takes like 4 or 5 days to load. You think loading Figma and OBS together is bad? Try opening this Excel sheet.
So this is an ugly home icon. We
Yeah,
don't want it.
delete. Get it out of here. Throw
I'm
it in
just
the
thinking about like tabs for the.
toss it in the bin.
I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm just thinking about tabs. I'm thinking about tabs, Ian. What do you
Yeah,
land
okay.
on?
Well, what happens?
Once I'm logged in, maybe this is a good place to start. Once I'm logged in,
What's the dash? I don't want to say dashboard, but what's your home screen? Like if you, yeah, once you're logged in, what's your home screen? Or once you click OK on this, I would assume that would take you back to a similar place as a home screen. What is that?
some sort
What the
of
hell is that?
dashboard. There's nothing to do. I mean, a big part of this experience is that there's not much to do. Like
Yes, that's important.
we're kind of whittling all the social parts out of the social media thing. I mean, there is sort of a parasocial thing going on between maybe you and the person that's reading your tweets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need some business points up here. Do you see this bullet up here? We need some
Uh,
business
okay.
point. We need some like
So if you had a reply, then it should show you the new message.
maybe there's a history
Otherwise,
like of
otherwise, is it, yeah, the ability to view a history? Is it a pretty big CTA to like write a new message, write a new tweet? Like, yeah,
yeah.
you're right. It shouldn't be a whole lot. Did I draw that last time?
Yeah,
I think
it's a
so.
great avatar. I'm going to move our depressed raccoon message off of here for a moment.
Affirmative.
Come on, Figma. There you go.
Whoosh.
I mean, why even ask users to write a message? Just hit send, and somebody like gets back to you, and they're like, "It's all right."
It's that's kind of I honestly I don't hate that feature. It's just like you don't have to type anything.
No, why
It's just
bother
like I
typing
am
things?
sad. It's like quick sad, or it's instead of I'm feeling lucky on Google, it's I'm feeling sad.
Okay, so we've logged in to new
Yeah,
Twitter.
we went through the sign up and then we jumped through all the hoops.
Um,
Ta-da!
Okay, well, I would.
Wow me, impress me, entertain me.
I'm. So obviously, let's just get the elements on page. So obviously, we want to create a new tweet. I'm just going to write that out for the sake of being able to understand what we're doing.
Okay.
I also want to see. Maybe we'll do a tiny bit of a wireframing exercise here. I also want to see, do I have any pending messages?
Oh, that you like for that have come back to you or that you haven't sent?
That haven't come back to you? I don't know. We can talk more about that component. Exactly what that features. Where does this live? I can't. Okay, hold. I'm trying to think about too much at once. My history. You notice I'm putting my next to things. Do you
Very
find yourself
personal.
doing that because you're just like, yes, it's a personalized experience? And we would have to think about what a dashboard looks like for first timers and all that stuff. Like maybe there's tutorial text in these components or something like that.
Yeah. This is yeah. That's a thing you do afterwards, I think. Unless that's an exercise. I've done that as like a brainstorming exercise before. It's like storyboard the onboarding experience or something. When it's trying to like get the idea out of people, you know, if it's not designers like us who are clearly like communication, visual communication professionals,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, draw like a story. Like there they open the app and then they click the button
And what do they do when they
to send
click
a
the
new tweet.
button? Yeah, I know. It's always a good way to get people who are pitching features to you, namely clients. It's like, it'd be really cool if we could do this. And it's like, okay, that's interesting. Like, how would we support that in their, like, account settings? Like, would we have to set up a system to accommodate this weird feature? We would have to build it into the CMS. And by the time you're done explaining how complicated it is to them, they're like, oh, yeah, never mind. You get it?
I get it all.
I think because we're basing this on sort of a personal experience. Like even on this first panel here, hello, it's okay, you're going to be okay, okay. We're like the tone of the app is speaking directly to them, so maybe we can say like, hello, username, or welcome
Hello.
back, username.
Or
Like just put a vocal tone to it,
yeah.
or put a conversational tone to it rather. Well,
Yeah, it's like,
everything's gonna fix
hello.
my hearing.
Hello,
It's
Nick.
just
How are
brutal.
you feeling? What's our CTA? Is
Bad.
it like how you feeling? What's on your mind? What's on your mind? Do we
I keep using the word tweet because I still I still want it to be like reflective of that experience, but maybe it's like, how you doing? That's stupid. That's buttons need to say like what it does or where they go. You can't like put like fun like
Yeah,
language
that's
in them.
too it's a bit
Unfortunately.
too cash. Not too cash.
Make, do.
Ooh, action.
Yes, action. Do. Okay.
I am calling out this action right here. I would like to call to this action. We were talking about CMSs at work, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess CMSs, like ways to like manage content. But it was like, oh, we don't want to like do a CMS,
Hold on
you
for the
know, for this
viewers
thing.
for
And
the
it's like, oh,
viewers
we
out
just
there.
need
What's
a
it?
system. Oh, I was going to say it's a content management system like WordPress or something. And we were saying like, oh, we need something like that, you know, to manage some content. And they're like, oh, not WordPress, you know, because it's like, okay, no, I'm not going to use WordPress. But it was just funny because it's just like, no, we can't, we don't need a CMS for this. We just need some kind of system to help us manage the content.
some sort of like,
Some
so
kind
we
of
can go change the
so
content.
they're like, maybe we can just upload, like, for just make it an easy way for people to format some of our pages,
Hmm.
without having to go through dev. And it's like, it's like, that sounds like a CMS, but they're like, no, that's too complicated. You know how developers hate CMSs and WordPress. Not that we were going to
Especially
use
WordPress.
WordPress, but you say that word, I'm just like, like WordPress. I'm just like, just so I could show like the editor, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you call it, like, just with bold and headings. I'm like, that's what we need, something like that. And it's like, no, and it's just like, okay, fine, we don't need a CMS. Just
We
need a
do need a
system
CMS though.
manages the content,
Yeah, so if anyone's still
content
hanging on that
editing.
one, a content management system is a what we call a back-end system for websites where you can actually just log in and change the content. Squarespace would be considered something like that, even though it's like kind of a web builder. Did you just write the word epic?
Maybe three
Um,
commas. You want to join the 3 comma club? Remember that from Silicon Valley?
I don't. I never watched that show. I'm
It,
like
it
totally out on it.
it's pretty funny. They really nail like the. I'm really surprised. Like, it's really, we would. It's humor that's like made for nerds. I guess it's funny enough for mainstream people, but I'm surprised they go that far with being that relevant. But there's this investor guy that's like a douche, and he's trying to join the 3 commas club, which means like $1 billion because there's 3 commas in it.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
It's like the three
That's my
commas club. Like, that's what we're going.
um
Baby.
billionaires doing well these days. Real popular.
Yeah, it's a good time to be rich. Good time to have $1 billion, I would say.
Did you see that somebody
Better
won a
than ever.
$1 billion lottery, like $1.4 billion lottery in the U.S., and after taxes they got like $440 million?
That's funny.
So doesn't that mean like the
A
IRS
lot.
won? The IRS won that one.
Yeah, it's just another tax. It's a voluntary tax. I mean, people do say that kind of thing.
You and I used to buy lottery
Uh,
tickets. We had a thing going on.
it's the
Maybe there's like
dream.
a big
I
floating point button. What do you
what's
think?
a
Hmm.
fab? Floating action button?
Floating action button. Maybe it's not persistent, but it's kind of that's Twitter style to me. I think add a thing,
Hmm.
start a thing. We need some copy or something that explains what's going on here. Maybe I'm just trying to like look at like from a new user point of view.
We can do new user. It's going to be, because this will even have different states. Because if there's no messages or message history, then obviously there isn't those things. So then it should probably be just a big text box to type in.
Yeah,
So
but we were
let's
talking
call
about
this. So
there's
let's
other
call this.
elements here. Like, weren't we talking about like you have to pay for this? Like,
Yeah.
there could be like a microcurrency angle on this. Did I make a? Oh, I did. I made a couple of
What are
icons.
ways to? Oh, Apple Pay is. I was just like, what are the ways to pay these days that are easy?
Yeah,
Apple
you
Pay.
just do it on your
It's an
phone.
iPhone
Like,
app.
yeah, it's if it's an app, it
Bill,
just you hit
or I
yes and
guess
you're good.
Google does the same. Because that's good.
That button's not big enough to be tapped. But whatever. Got a settings icon in there. We're almost to a real app, Ian.
Um, what is the next most important thing next to settings icons? I mean, we've got the welcome screen. We need a new user screen, I think. Got this flashing cursor.
Okay. I can work on a new user screen. Or we can work on it
Is
together. I
this
mean, that's what we do, but I got an idea.
well? We'll save that because that's an active user screen.
Yeah. I'm gonna build the same thing, but like kind of better. To it, we can like add tutorial text. Man, Figma is chugging. Figma is getting bulky. But this is just
Not
the
cool,
state of
Figma.
Apple too. Like every time I update
Illegal.
my Mac OS, I'm sort
Yeah.
of fully expecting for it to get like a tiny bit slower.
I don't update my old. I have an older MacBook that I just use for like personal use, and I don't even update the OS, and it's starting to get mad at me. And I'm like, I don't want to. I
I
don't
know.
want it to.
It
It's
works so well
probably
right
got great
now.
features, but I only do a few things on this computer. Yeah, I don't. I, I hate to say it, but I don't trust Apple to not like try and slow your stuff down over time. Or maybe not, not like a conspiracy, but they're like, well, we don't care. Just buy a new computer in 3 years. I mean, that's kind of what they do, I guess. They're all companies.
Just checking the stream health over here. Looking good. Yeah, thanks for
It's
sticking with
okay
us.
on my end. Got it.
If you have a thing you want us to design, you have any questions or comments, even if you're like a small business that wants professional designers to work on your thing for free, you can get at us. You can check us at the Hi There Show at gmail.com. That's the Hi There Show at gmail.com, and you should like and subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. Let's do it. 2020, second
Let's
half of
go.
2022, baby. So yeah, get at us because we would love to have some like cool stuff to noodle at similar to this. And that's it. That's the speech, Ian. That's the ad.
That's it. It's great. Sounded great.
Um,
I'm just kind of thinking about kind of requirements and screens. Purple is, what do we call them? We'll call it a pro for now.
where are you? Should I let me know if you want me to focus the camera on what you're doing?
Oh, not yet.
Get out of here.
Payment, yeah, payment's an important thing. We need some onboarding.
Yeah, are people?
Payment. Apple Pay. Subscribe.
So, Webflow keeps coming up again to me, and I think they might be paying like UX influencers maybe to talk about their product on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, like I read a tweet this morning that was like way too nice about Webflow, and I've never used it. I have no idea what it does. I think it might sort of be like Squarespace, but a software package. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not quite Figma, but it's not quite, a template either.
Okay. I thought it, my understanding, which I guess I shouldn't even say understanding. I guess I assumed it was more of a Squarespace thing. I never looked into it. I'm too old.
I should fire it up and like pull it on screen and look at it. Can you do that? Pull it up in a browser window, and I'm gonna put it on stream, and I want to see what their business pitch is.
Webflow?
Yeah, just so we can look at the website
Oh,
at the
look.
same time.
Oh, let's see what they're. Create a custom website, no code website builder. Yeah, it's a Squarespace. Oh, that really looks like Squarespace too.
Does it really?
I mean, I guess it just looks like. I mean, just the template looks like a Squarespace template, but I guess Squarespace templates just look like the modern website template of the year. You know what I mean? The flavor of the year. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I googled their site and clicked their ad just to make sure that they paid for this visit. You know what I mean? The site you want without the dev time. Oh, so it just makes it for you.
I don't see anything that indicates it isn't Squarespace. Build flows with logic.
If it produces
Mm,
a website, why do I want to
yeah.
build a flow? Oh, I see. It probably like
Well,
contributes.
a flow to them is like when someone sends in, it fills out your form, it goes to an email address and then adds them to a CMS and sends them an onboarding message. But
Interesting. It does look the
how we do
interface does
that
look a lot
without
like Figma, doesn't it? Or even InVision. That's cool.
does it let you drag boxes of any size, or is it templates though?
I'm assuming that it's grid
And you,
based. Like
yeah,
so,
it's got to be
um,
right.
websites.
Yeah.
These are a series of boxes that typically work in an organized grid that is then responsive. But yeah, like I don't think that you could probably just like pick up a box and drag it anywhere on screen, and it just is like leaves it there. There's some like smurging there. And I've used Squarespace before. I actually helped someone with a project with Squarespace, and it's cool, but like it's not flexible. Oh, you worked with it too. Remember we did that thing for a friend?
Mm,
It's cool, but it's not flexible. It's not like there's not a design specificity there that I think commercial clients and commercial designers want to deal with, you know?
yeah.
I think we hacked it quite
Yeah.
severely
I
too.
yeah, it just wasn't yeah, it you always end up wanting
Go
to
ahead, say
customize
it
stuff with
sucks.
it, and it's like
It's the
you
worst.
kind of shouldn't. Like, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I think if
Yes.
yeah, you customize them too much and then they start to break and then the updates don't work and you kind of defeats the purpose a bit. I don't actually know what Webflow is yet then, because I'm looking at it and there's a Dell case study that says like they needed a prototyping software. So maybe it is like a proto. I thought it was a Squarespace, but I think it's a prototype tool now actually.
But it says no dev
Wow, how do
required.
I not know? Am I stupid?
It says no
The site you want without the
without the dev time.
so
Does somebody still have to program it? Can you imagine
oh
signing up for
maybe
the
so
server?
maybe they just use it to prototype, because I've used Squarespace to prototype before, honestly.
Yeah. I could totally
I
see that. Yes, 100%. If you were used to it,
no coding. I still don't know what you get. Do you get a prototype like Figma, or do you get a website that people can go
I
to?
mean,
I think it's prototyping, but oh no, never mind. You can go to real websites with URLs that were made in Webflow. Is it what we were talking about then, where it's like Squarespace, like it's just like you use Figma, but then you get a Squarespace site out of the other end instead of a
I
Figma
think so.
file? Well, how come I don't yet know what this is yet?
There's so many reasons.
Is it because I'm just dumb?
I mean,
Build your site. Okay, so it is a
it's
site
a
builder.
yes, it's a site
I
builder.
think when they say prototype, they just mean they used it to. Dell probably doesn't use a site builder. They probably just used a site builder to like make a prototype, and then they code it.
Yeah, because there's so many reasons. Yeah, I agree. Because there's so many reasons why you couldn't just take like a front end that this app made and coded for you and then hand it to developers and be like, all right, make the video player work, hook it up to a CMS. Like, I doubt that's a thing, especially with like, React apps and stuff. I don't know. But if you're a bakery, I don't know why I always use bakery as an example, but if you're a bakery or a car dealership and you just need like a small website, it's probably awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to look at what this is. I guess I want to try it. Do you download it? Because there's two, like,
Sign up, make a website right now.
let's do that
We've
next
talked
week.
about this. We should do like a challenge video. It's like making a website in Webflow while I'm actively being kidnapped. And then we'll
Yeah, in the back of a loose van, cargo van,
yep, just
loose.
flomping around. Oh, we could get a U-Haul. And like we'll get like a stunt laptop, like a laptop
Yes.
that we don't mind burning, and we'll just
Wear a,
drive around.
yeah, wear a helmet
Totally wear a helmet. We'll get one of our friends to do it, and they can like
for
jerk the
safety.
wheel around, and yeah, that'd be pretty good.
That's fun. That's a pilot for a Netflix show.
Extreme design.
Maybe Netflix will
See,
pick it
because we're
up.
totally wacky
Maybe
with
we
it.
could maybe we can get YouTube to pick it up. Yeah. Whoa. Mark Rober's getting a show on
Yeah,
some
it's called like
network.
Wicked. It's on Discovery. It's like something pranksters. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the Inventronauts or something.
Revenge. It's
Revenge
Reve- the
Revengeanauts?
Revenge Killers. It's just Mark Rober like tracking people across the globe.
Revengeaneers. That's what it
Revengeaneers.
is.
And it's cool. I get it, and it is funny
Speaking
to scam scammers. I don't know. I just rather, I don't know, a prank show. He was hosting Jimmy Kimmel last week as well, which was very
Really?
cool. Very cool of him. Mark Rober hit us up.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna take a quick fiver,
Yeah, are we already at the halfway
come
mark? Oh
back,
my
and
god, we've almost been on for an hour. Yeah,
I don't even know what time we
I don't
started,
even
but
know. We had talking points at one point, but this has been really fun. Um, yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna take a few minutes. We will be right back, and we'll keep going. And welcome back. It's the Hi There Show, the show where we make dumb things. Dumb internet things.
Dumb internet things because it's fun. For the love of
If you
design.
really love design, design dumb things instead of for money. Design dumb things and the money will follow, is what I always say.
You never know.
So
you can never predict anything. It's all random.
My cat is about to collapse my video stand, my tripod.
We might need one of those
spray bottle.
We need one of those please stand by holding screens. We are experiencing technical difficulties. It's a cat knocking over a glass of water.
Cat assaulting me. So we're working on. I don't know why that was so funny. Hey, speaking of which, I have some access to DALL-E 2, so if we can think of any funny prompts like that, we can do them. Yeah, we're working.
Our AI.
Image AI DALL-E 2, they are sending out invites like if you signed up, and it's really interesting. Your account comes with like a guide about how to prompt DALL-E 2. We talk about it a lot on this show lately because I'm so fascinated with it, but it's an image AI that can make anything that you think of like photorealistic. It's bizarre. But anyway, you can prompt it like 50 times a month or maybe 50 times a year. But you get a guide. It's really interesting, and I want to think of funny ones that we can use for the show. Like, I don't know, something to do with the CEO of Google. Maybe he's like laying on a nest of eggs or something. But anyway, we can do it. But
yeah, be really specific about it.
A nest of eggs. Specific as possible.
That's good.
The only one I tried, it was on DALL-E Mini, but that I had a good laugh with was Drake performing underwater. And I got this like really amazing image of Drake just like ripping a tune like in the underwater in like the dark ocean. It was amazing. But yeah, back to the task at hand here. We're making new Twitter. We've been talking about it all night, and we're making the new user screen. So once a user logs into this app, or they sign up, or we've onboarded them, what actually becomes of them? And that's that first panel. It's kind of a weird way to plan this, as noted earlier, but it's good to look at.
I'm easy.
So I think in terms of
the flow.
In terms of this app. What you send messages, and a paid professional thoughtfully replies to what you're saying. So in terms of that experience, I want to prioritize that. Like the very first thing, and maybe only thing you can do in the app, action you can take toward that end, is to add a new message.
If you're the first user, like, would it just start with this? If there's nothing for very first user?
Maybe not for very first user. That's hold on. I'm going to call it tweet again. Create a new tweet. When does that happen? Like, is what you're talking about, does that happen before you sign up, or does it happen after you sign up? Because maybe what we're looking at then is an onboarding process.
How does Twitter do it?
Twitter's just like we're Twitter. Like, sign up.
Open a new tab.
You get this rad graphic. I'm gonna pull it up on stream.
Oh, it is kind of rad. Sign up with phone or email. Oh, you can sign up with like Apple and Google.
Twitter.com? I am.
Let's offer those options up. Let's have a bunch of like. Okay, name, phone number. Okay, so it asks you name and phone number. Then it's gonna send you a text to verify.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
We can start that. Now this is where we can like do some wireframey flowcharty boxes maybe. Real quick.
Are you talking about like a sign up form? Are we working on a sign up form?
Or just like what are the steps between this and this? Like when you click sign up, what do we got next?
So here's what I'm thinking. So in this case, we would like greatly deprioritize sign up. and we would use this area. I'm gonna make a carousel, Ian.
A carousel? French. Very fancy.
Um, we're Canadian, and I work a lot with American companies, and I got caught a lot with like favorite and color.
Oh,
Where we add that extra U,
yeah.
and
They don't like that.
so then I'm
That's
looking at
offensive
carousel, and I'm
to an
like,
American.
and then I'm looking at carousel, and I'm like, is that a Canadian U? Do they
Yeah,
spell
it's like
it
what a
differently?
it's a,
Like,
it's a good question.
I'd have to look it up.
I don't think so. That is a good question still. Um, I don't know where this comes into play, but like something
Hmm.
like this, right? Like I like these.
Hmm.
I like all these like sign up options, right? I don't sign in usually with Google or anything like that, but
I've converted
some
to signing in with
people
Google
do.
every time that I can because my browser is always logged into Google. Um, so and I have my few like Google based accounts, like including my work one in my browser. So when I sign up with Google, I'm just able to just one click through everything, and it's so
Mm.
convenient. I'll never sign up with Facebook. I don't even know what signing up
Oh
with
no.
Apple means. Like I don't know what Apple thinks my name is in my Apple account.
I've
I've had
signed
it
up
for
with
like
Apple.
ever.
I've done with Apple before, and it just basically makes an email address for you and then
Okay.
forwards it to your existing email. So it just kind of masks your email. So if they start spamming you, you can just block it easy. That's pretty much the gist of it. And you can block your name, I think. Yeah, Facebook I don't do. Microsoft has a sign in now, which
Mm-hmm.
I makes me feel lame getting so excited about it. But we use Microsoft at work, so it makes it easy for me to like sign up for work stuff that I don't care about. I'm like, yes, just Microsoft it.
Yeah.
I can sign in with Microsoft Suite, and it gets my work stuff. It keeps it separate
Does
because I don't have any
Microsoft
personal
do they
stuff.
do they have an authenticator?
Um, no, I don't think so.
Fair
They
enough.
do 2FA, but I don't think no,
My kid plays a
no.
lot of Minecraft, and
Hmm.
I am constantly like dealing with the remote sign in thing. It's like go to this address, aka/ms/remote connect, and
What's that?
it's just like a remote login thing. Like they give you a code and you can put it in. It validates a device, and they demand that
Oh,
you do it constantly. And it's
interesting. I've done that via this. I've done something similar to that before. Almost convenient, except it sounds like it's annoying you.
I'm gonna move that
Could
guy
be
off to the
cool.
side. So, do you know what I mean with like sort of an approach like this, where you give them all the messaging that they need up front in a carousel style fashion, in a next fashion? Are you typing a text
Hmm.
over there? Oh no, wait.
No, I'm writing requirements.
Hey, we run a tight ship here.
Hey, are you texting?
Hey,
Hey, are you driving right
oh,
now? It's like, oh, sorry,
I was
I'm in a
actually.
car.
Well, to be honest, I I was kind of hoping that you were because then it would be great content. It would be like, hey, who's
Hmm.
that? They're like, oh, it's a freelance thing.
Yeah, I actually have three jobs at the same time.
So yeah,
It's a
what do you think
Ponzi
about?
scheme, a design Ponzi scheme. It's just like I give someone else like someone else's revisions. I don't know how that would work.
I think that we should. I think we've talked about this
Tell us in the
before, but we
comments.
we want to make a reality show. I say we. We got to do a reality show where we're two designers, but we get four jobs under different personas,
Hmm.
and then like run all of them at once and make $1 million. Um.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Okay.
that's another thing we're pitching to Netflix actually. So we're gonna land. We've got so many hooks in the sea. We're gonna catch a fish.
I don't know if Netflix is taking pitches lately.
I've been putting it under like different pseudonyms and stuff too. So
Okay.
false identities, different with different backstories. I'm working on it.
Oh, I like it. It's like sort of like a professional catfish. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just catfishing. Like,
That's
it's,
ex- that's
guys,
a
look,
yeah.
it's no big
I'm,
deal.
that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to catfish Netflix to giving us a show.
Knit flux.
Shouldn't I don't. That's probably considered fraud. I don't want to admit that. Don't admit
Oh,
the
it is fraud.
crimes on stream.
It would be all good until they were like, "What's your
I
how
was
do we
just
pay
joke. It's just a
you?"
prank. It's just a prank, bro.
It's just a prank,
That's
bro.
my show. Just we made a show about trying to get a show on Netflix. So even if we don't get a show, we turn that into a show
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm
about
in.
failing how we failed to get a Netflix show. That's funny.
Season 2 should be
That's
trying
probably
to
better than
outdo Mark Rober's prank show with our own prank show.
we just keep giving Mark Rober so many Amazon packages that he has to build a robot to like destroy them.
No, we just keep stealing them. Like all the time. He's like, every time he does one of those glitter package bombs, it's just you and me, and we're like, yo. And he's like, again? Again? And we're like, yeah, we took it. And he's like, it's a glitter bomb. We're like, yeah, man. I love your show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel like I'm biting
We
off more
drop.
than we could possibly chew. Sorry.
No, it's okay. We got 15 minutes ish, or whatever time we want. We can drop ship. We can steal the package, and then drop ship it to someone else. Put it in front of someone else's door. I don't know.
Oh my god!
I'm just trying to use terms. I know.
No, we take the Mark Rober scam package and without opening it, put it like on an old lady's doorstep. Someone who doesn't deserve it at all. And it's like then they review the glitter bomb package video, and it's just like a church service, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, what is this?" And it just starts going crazy.
No, and he feels so bad.
He feels so bad. That's an important part of our show. Is like,
yeah,
there's some real solemn Mark moments.
That's what we'll do. Okay, I'm gonna move this thing out over here now. But
is this type of onboarding annoying as hell?
I don't think so. No, I think especially if you can skip it. The ones that you have skip. But ours will be like 3 things. It's like, I think this is important. This is going to help us figure out how we define this and communicate what it is. It's like, tell us what's on your mind. Then we need a thing that shows like magical stuff's happening or someone's doing a thing.
I think that we need like a photo of like of someone in a white coat, you know, a nice lady like looking at a beaker to really sort of drive home that the people that you're going to be talking to are professional.
Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, you get a message back. So that's kind of our tutorial. It's like you send a thing, they get it, get a thing back. Great. I like it. Hey, get a thing.
You get it the thing. That's can't do Italian accents. That's not appropriate.
That's not Italian.
You just don't do accents that aren't this terrible East Coast one that we grew up with. Introducing new Twitter.
It's better. Period.
It's definitely better.
It's like Twitter. It's like old Twitter, but good.
It's a lot like old Twitter. But better? Like, that's not, hold on.
In a way, nothing at all like it. Really. mostly different. Or is it?
New Twitter.
Wait.
The Twitter that goes against everything that Twitter is. There's lots of Twitters out there. The better Twitter that goes against everything that old Twitter is. Okay. Writing copies, pretty good.
I like it.
My line
Onboarding.
heights are too big. Let's go 80%. Something that I keep getting caught with in Figma is you're making a component and it's got a text box in it, and you can't understand why the text box has like such a huge bounding box around it. Like, I'll show you.
Okay, I'm looking. I'm here.
So let's say I am text. So right now that's just a text box. And then I can give it some constraints.
Oh yeah.
Tell it to center, kind of thing.
Grind it.
If I were to set that to 150% text height, you get these just like egregiously huge boxes, and I'm trying to work, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on, and so you just have to set your text box back to 100. It just makes your auto
100?
layouts 100%. Sorry, that value. Let me hover it. Line height.
I was dealing with that today, actually.
I always work with percentage
annoying.
values for line heights, and I would prefer developers do too, because I think like 20 pixels is going to be the same as 10%. So line height, we're talking about specifically like the height, the amount of space between lines in a grouping of text. It matters, and designers talk about it constantly, or have to deal with it constantly. I don't know what I was saying, man. Line heights, bro.
Line height.
Line heights, yeah. I like to work in percentages, because I feel like it's just nice to have flexible values.
It should be. I mean, the line height is relative compared to the text size, So if that way, you just don't have to change two things. If it's a percent, when you change your font size, then the line height should change with it, right?
Okay, that's the right way to.
That's the way. I guess that's where I go with it. Just the boring efficiency factor. Change one number.
Yeah, I was saying all that and was not being cognizant of the fact that I'm like, I don't write CSS. So that's not a me thing. Get responses that matter to you.
I like it. And don't ever worry about anything ever again.
That's the last panel. That's perfect. Oh, wait, what is our staff called?
I don't know. Professionals.
I guess,
yeah, staff of professional. Professional. I just keep saying professional worrier, but trained professional.
Is there a way we can combine
professional listeners
with, like, analytics, like worryalytics?
That would be good in a pitch deck to startups. We want funding.
Yeah.
Something like that is cool. Yeah, I was just gonna say listeners, professional. Yeah, well, we'll come back to that.
Hold on. We'll receive a thoughtful response written by our staff of professionals. There you go.
Yeah. I forget what I said. Never.
Yeah, never worry again.
Oh.
I should have done that as two text boxes, but I'm lazy.
You know what? It's a concept. Clean it up for prod. Clean it up in post. Fix it in dev. Do it in dev.
Yeah, I'll name all my layers.
That's the new fix it. That's the new layers. I name a few. No one else is looking in there anyway.
You said we need a skip button.
Yeah.
So maybe next is the button and skip is like this.
Yeah.
Skip to sign up?
And you can swipe. I would assume.
Yes, this is
I just say skip.
swiping.
Yeah, you can swipe. I would just say skip.
So I don't know if we need a next button. The carousel should be inherent.
Yeah, we might not. You're right. The carousel should be inherently.
Like if it's
that should
designed
provide an
properly,
affordance.
An
People know.
affordance.
Yeah, an affordance is when you can tell what something does based on the way it's designed. I think that's right.
I mean, that's to me just the overarching goal of intuitive design.
Like a door handle that's a handle so that you can pull it open. It's like you know what to do with it. But you know what's bad? You ever use those sinks that have like it's like instead of like left and right, it's up and down. And I'm like, which way's hot and which way's cold? I can never tell.
Left and right instead. My taps are always left and right. What?
Yeah, some taps, some faucets have a thing that's like a lever.
It's just like a waggly
that goes up and down
on a ball at the top, and you're sort of guessing like what is a lot of pressure and what is hot and what is cold. Yeah, I hate this.
Yeah, because left is hot and right is cold always, right?
Know. That seems right. Righty tighty
on a normal tap.
Lefty coldy. That's how it works. I think.
That's what
most of
my gym teacher always used to say. I don't know.
He used to say righty tighty, lefty loosey.
The gym /shop/ home ec. We had like the same teacher for a bunch of stuff.
Ian's from the country, everyone.
I went to one room school. No, it wasn't quite that.
It had two rooms. Come on, it had 2 rooms.
There's a couple rooms.
I want to change skip to sign up. Like if you're gonna skip it, you're only going to skip to sign up, so that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Sign up now.
Oh, yeah, now.
Okay.
Well, no, that goes back to the point of like your button should tell people what you're gonna do. And I guess sign up and sign up now are the same thing, but also there's an urgency to now. No, fuck your tutorial. Oh, I shouldn't have swore on stream. We're gonna get demonetized.
Ooh, strike.
Strike. Mr. YouTube's in my driveway and he's mad. Yeah, YouTube cops. They come and take our silver play button.
They show up in the comment section.
They're in chat. It just says YouTube. And they buy a super chat for $5 and they're like, you're out. Enjoy this $5, you're out.
Thin ice, Brunt. No more of that. Okay. Well, we are coming up to, a good like little milestone here, getting an onboarding pass in the books.
And now it's time to truly relax.
Ooh. Truly relax. When's the last time you truly relaxed? That's a rhetorical question for the user.
That's a good question. It's summertime and I'm a parent and I'm never going to relax again. Why are you? Yeah, I know we're on the wrap-up curve here. You can keep going. I'm just trying to fix everything before I'm done.
Yeah, I'm just
actually we got a lot of work done on this. So yeah, we sort of ended on the onboarding process here, which I think brings up maybe another entire conversation. We could spend an evening, and maybe this is next week, just talking about like what does onboarding mean? What is an onboarding process? Because we're scratching the surface here, and this is a method of I've downloaded an app. I don't know what it does. I need to be educated before I sign up. We need to sell people on it. That might not even be the
Yeah,
thing that you need to do, and I personally find this kind of annoying. So maybe that's what we do. Onboarding.
I think, yeah, and I think the onboarding needs to continue because onboarding to me is like getting you on board into the app. So this is part of it, but
Mm-hmm.
onboarding has to continue. The onboarding isn't finished until you've sent your first tweet, I think. So I think that kind of continues into that tutorial messaging or something that guides people through their first thing. I don't think it's going to be that hard because it's not a lot you can do in the app, but yeah,
Well, I
that
mean, you
first
can take
user
it as far as you
experience that
want. I
gets you
mean,
through the sign up.
tutorials are all very different. Um, some of them are very arresting, I suppose, but yeah, good conversation to have. And I like how this is looking, sort of. Okay, everyone.
Looking fresh.
Looking so fresh and so clean. I almost had a MIDI version of So Fresh and So Clean, but apparently MIDIs are subject to copyright. That's another Live Design Tuesday happening on a Wednesday evening. Thank you so much for popping by. We hope you learned a thing or two. As always, subscribe, hit the bell. Email us, thehithereshow@gmail.com. That's thehithereshow@gmail.com. We want to design stuff on live streams. We want to do UX work on live streams, and we want you to reach out to us. What should we make? Do you have a company? Do you have a little bakery? We actually make good looking stuff in our day-to-day lives, so we can do that for you too. Otherwise, leave a comment. That's it. That's all I got. Ian,
That's
give
that's
me a
great.
design tip to wrap up the episode.
Always label your screens for others.
That's a good one. Night night.
It's what I, because I just